seller dashboard, and in particular factoring and advancing portions of the payment for a seller's order. Now, this is a really interesting customization that we implemented for one of our marketplace e-commerce platforms, and we just want to briefly talk about some of the different options that you can enable within your marketplace e-commerce. So a buyer makes a purchase, and whenever that purchase is completed, because the item is so valuable, or there's possibly a very low credibility marketplace, maybe there are laws that are in place that really aren't fulfilled properly in a particular region of the world. And so the seller might be selling from a region that has issues with piracy, or maybe selling the wrong items. Maybe a buyer needs to verify everything before they're comfortable purchasing. So in those types of scenarios, funds don't get released to the seller until the item itself is actually fulfilled and in the hands of the buyer, and it has cleared escrow. So the funds during the purchase process might get put into escrow from the buyer, and the seller has to fulfill the item without receiving payment until the buyer actually accepts delivery and confirms that the delivery was valid. Now, this can put the seller into a bind from a cash flow perspective. So we've enabled the option to allow this seller to take advantage of factoring on a percentage of the items that are sold. And this is a really interesting option, and you can see this in the order details. So here you can see on the screen, the factoring is engaged if you look at the right side of the screen here. So they can actually click on the factoring details and then see the terms of their factoring. So they have a fee of 5% that they're paying to enable factoring, and they have a 75% factoring offer. So the item was $2,000, or the order was $2,000, and they're being offered $1,500 up front for a $75 fee in order to receive those funds in advance of the escrow being released. And then the seller would just need to accept the terms, and then they can sign off on this. So this is pretty interesting, because the main thing that we want to be doing is automating the process and making it easier for sellers to be able to engage in the marketplace. And one of the biggest challenges that sellers have in this type of scenario with escrow is making it really easy to leverage the cash flow and fulfill their items effectively. Some of these items can take 30 to 60 days to actually actually get delivered, based on different carriers and timelines for the actual fulfillment to occur. If you're going 30 to 60 days and you've got a lot of inventory that's been shipped, but you haven't gotten the escrow signed off on, that can be very damaging to a business's ability to grow and scale. So having this option built in is huge for the seller to be able to take advantage of factoring. Now, here is what the seller would see if they were not engaged with factoring yet, is this little button that they can click on. And so again, they would basically receive this little pop-up that shows the option to turn on factoring. Now, the question that we would ask is, what are some other options with your marketplace that you might turn on, and they may not be immediate, but during the long term for your marketplace, what would be some opportunities that you would want to take advantage of that would allow you to make the seller's experience much, much more positive and make it easier for them to scale up? The other big thing is, if you think about it, with platforms like Amazon, they do a lot of revenue and a lot of volume, but they don't necessarily offer the best terms to their sellers. And this can be a really big friction point for Amazon compared to your marketplace. If you're operating within a niche, a very specific aspect of your marketplace offering, or multiple niches that are proximate, for example, and you can offer a lot more value and make it seamless so that the seller has a very easy, really automated process that's self-service, you're going to give yourself a niche that you can carve out and own within the overall marketplace. Keep in mind, a lot of the marketplaces that are out there today are heavily commoditized, and they're not really focusing on the seller experience. So how can you focus on the seller's experience? And again, asking yourself questions about where you can automate things and where you can improve the process to heavily drive success in the long term for your sellers and therefore for your marketplace overall. We certainly hope that this video was helpful to get you thinking about some of the different ideas that are critical for your sellers within your marketplace e-commerce platform. If you'd like, we offer a complimentary discovery that's a no sales guarantee, where you can meet with our business analyst team members and discuss technical aspects of your marketplace e-commerce. Certainly, either way, we would appreciate it if you would smash the like button. And if you'd like to subscribe, then we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.